So this is my logbook for week 3 of the Sad Club. Again, quick overview of what we did in this week. So I did my audition for David and Craig. I'll talk about how that went. We got introduced to the song Things I Do When I'm Upset, how we're going to do that and how we think we're going to analyse that. And obviously got the results for David. So let's start talking about my audition for David and Craig. So the first one Deb's asked us to choose was what we think is the best one that we can perform and put in front. And I chose David. I felt more comfortable with that. I felt like I knew both lines, but I felt like I was more comfortable. I felt like I could portray me as a performer much more, and to Deb's more. So how did that go? It went really well. It went really well. I got the role of David, which is really good, and it went well because I felt really, really connected when the bit when Dee left me. I felt like really upset inside, which is good because obviously the audience will feel the same effect. I felt like everything I was doing was right. My articulation was fine. I got my voice skills on it sheet here. The use of tone was very good. There's a bit I always say the same tone. Pace. I didn't speak too loud, so I achieved my target there because last week I set my target speed that I was speaking too quick. Projection, my loudness, and obviously the clarity of my voice was fine. Breath control, much more better. I felt more chilled once I got into. I was a bit nervous, I have to admit, but when I walked in and I was on the monologue, I was much more better and controlled. Yeah, so it was really good. So my voice overall for that was really good. Obviously, it says here, have you noticed any improvements or changes? Again, with the pace, that was one of my targets that I set, and that was much better, and that worked overall. Okay. So obviously I got the role of David, which I'm really happy about, and I feel like I'm really going to explore that character. And it should be really good to perform him as David, because he really had like a special connection to me, and I wanted to do that. I felt like that was the right time. I've sort of experienced heartbreak before, and it felt like it was right for me to choose David. Okay, so we also looked at the song Things I Do When I'm Upset. So Things I Do When I'm Upset is a song after the first thing, after the best friend scene, and it is a song of how we're going to do it sort of thing today. We talked about, so I had an idea of doing box stepping. So box stepping would be a good idea. In lines, box stepping, like walking forward, and obviously a typical box step. I think that'd be really effective. So that was my idea in the dance sort of thing today. We did the song for it. There's a lot of different notes. So I'll see like there's bits where Tim wants us to do the harmony. Sorry about that. So yeah, there was bits that Tim wanted us to do the harmony, and I felt that really good, and I felt that was really good for me to project for that. So research, again, talking about research for character in the sheet here. So the research I've done for my character this week, I know now I'm getting the role of David. So now I need to know, now I know I'm going to explore the character of David much more depth. Talk about what he's done. I filled out a sheet that I've posted on the Logbook performer, where you can post all the stuff I'm going to be posting in this video. That about David, how many brothers and sisters, what's his favourite hobby, what's his favourite sport, does he like football, what clothes does he wear, how many friends does he have, is he popular, all of them, I've answered them all there. So that, and Deb's given us that, and a really good insight of David. I'm sort of like developing the character. You can already see a developing character from last week. So last week I didn't know I was going to get the role of David. Now I know I can get the role of David. I'm going to be portraying him more, I'm going to be finding him out more, I'm going to be doing more hot seat, and doing more techniques of him, I'm going to do more magic if. Obviously we did hot seat actually. On the Friday, after the Friday's lesson today, we did some hot seating for me and Kieran Thomas, because Kieran Thomas is playing the role of Craig. So obviously, Kieran Thomas is playing the role of Craig, and yeah. So we did a bit of hot seat each other. We both asked each other questions and how they react in different situations. So when I asked Kieran about his family, he was very bit touchy-feely, because in his monologue, he's very proud of. Just get the phone. But as I was saying, he was very touchy-feely, yeah, sorry about that. So he is very touchy-feely in the monologue, and whereas I was quite confident in all the questions I was getting asked, there's a lot of questions I was getting asked, about like how I was coping and how I feel like I'm developing as a character. So I sort of, so character the pro forma of all the things we need to do, I'm sort of linking the research one and the character one, because for me personally, those two both link very well, because you're doing research. So mostly the research for your character. Obviously, talking about the themes and feeling blue, you'd obviously do research for that. And if you have any ideas of how we can show feeling blue and how we show with actually physical the colour blue and showing that, like I said, with the tops and everything, then I can do that. But with the characterization, you're sort of doing research for your character. So they're sort of linked, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm going to apply doing that hot seating to my performance, and I know when I'm going to be doing it. So next week we are going to be sort of like practicing the scenes. So Deb's going to call certain people up for their monologue, and she's going to help us with that. Yeah, so that's very good. Sorry, just turn this every way. So yeah, interpreting text and units. Units and scripts, sorry, and editing the themes, and what discoveries have you made about the script this week? Obviously, I made a discovery that we are going to be doing obviously we have chosen now that it's feeling blue, and feeling blue is the main theme that we need to choose, and how we're going to do that, and how we're going to add these practitioners in. So Stanislavski is sort of the main practitioner we are going to add, due to the fact that we did Brecht, Fear and Misery. So we're comparing the two between Brecht and Stanislavski and Fear and Misery. So we did Brecht last time, now we're doing Fear and Misery. Yeah, because Stanislavski is sort of one where he wants to not tell he doesn't want to physically say to the audience what's happening, but he wants the audience to be engaged, but without us telling, sort of thing. Yeah, so what rehearsal skills have I used this week? So we did a nice warm-up this week. I've highlighted here warm-up. I've also highlighted, I've added some creative ideas, obviously with the box step, with the dance, breathing exercise for my thing, for my monologue, and applying the research, so the research of doing the hot seat and for my character, and applying it to David's role. So yeah, very good week, and I find out a lot about David this week and how he's going to be developing as a character throughout the weeks.